Congressman, since we last talked, there has been several developments regarding the situation in Darfur. A year ago, you talked about the importance of community activism and grassroots level work when it comes to creating awareness on the Hill regarding the Darfur issue. What has changed over the past year?
Well, awareness has grown. The support for humanitarian organizations has grown. The International Criminal Court has indicted Mr. Bashir, and he is now somebody who has an arrest warrant out for him, so it is clear from an international level that this man is guilty of genocide. Unfortunately, the killing still is happening, and I'm hoping that the Obama administration will do what the Bush administration should have done, which is work with the international community and impose a no-fly zone over Darfur, and to pressure the Chinese government in particular to stop providing arms and equipment and support to the Bashir government that they use in turn to do terrible acts of genocide against innocent people.
And at this point, how do you see, what is the role of grassroots organizations and anti-genocide groups specifically when it comes to this issue?
Look, nobody would be talking about Darfur. Nobody would be talking about this genocide if it wasn't for a grassroots effort. It is important to make sure that the world knows what's happening. Interestingly enough, this genocide in Darfur is probably the most well-known of any genocide that has ever occurred. It is the most covered. Everybody knows that it's happening. It would be a terrible tragedy and a terrible reflection on the world community if, in light of all this evidence, you've had 60 Minutes do pieces on Darfur. In light of all of this, that we don't act. We know that people are being systematically killed. We know that innocent women and children and men are being systematically killed. We need to do more. And the grassroots organizations have basically put this terrible atrocity, out front. Every politician knows that it's going on. The question is, what are politicians going to do about it?
And you mentioned China. There are several countries, including China and Turkey, that have been sort of quite supportive to the administration in Sudan, specifically Bashir. What is your thoughts on having some sort of a political action in that respect?
I think it's important that any government, whether it be China or Turkey or Egypt, that is giving support and comfort to Bashir, we need to call them out. We need to shame them and to stop doing it. Look, there are a lot of things that people can disagree on in this world, but genocide is something that every country should come together and want to condemn and want to prevent. And so it really is important that countries like Turkey and China and others, stop their support. And if they do that, they will be putting the pressure on Bashir to step down or to surrender to the International Criminal Court, or to stop the killing. But only good can happen if they put pressure on that government.
Speaking of condemning genocide, the genocide resolution is again being discussed on the Hill, and the issue of President Obama, right. his recognition of the genocide on April 24th is also an issue that is of great importance to the Armenian community and the anti-genocide community. What are your thoughts on the current situation, especially under the current political atmosphere? How do you see this?
Well, I have no idea what's going to happen. But both President Obama and Secretary of State Clinton, when they were running for president, both said that they recognize the Armenian Genocide. He's president now, and she's Secretary of State, and I hope that they will keep their campaign promise, and that is to formally recognize the Armenian Genocide. I know there's a lot of pressure for them to do what previous administrations have done, which is to kind of, tiptoe around the issue. And the Turkish government is spending a lot of money here trying to lobby members of Congress into not supporting the resolution. And they're saying that if we support the resolution and pass it, that somehow that will ruin our relationship with Turkey. I think our relationship with Turkey is based on more than just the issue of the Armenian Genocide, or recognizing it or not. And, if Turkey has a tantrum over the fact that we recognize historical fact, then so be it. They'll get over it. I've always said that if the Turkish government recognized the genocide formally themselves, it would show the world that they're a mature democracy, and by not recognizing the genocide, by spending all these millions of dollars for lobbyists to come up here and to intimidate members of Congress, in a certain way, it ties this current government in Turkey to the genocide. I mean, and I think that's something, if I were in the Turkish government, I wouldn't want. So let's recognize historical fact and move on. Other countries have recognized bad parts of their history, the United States government included. We've recognized bad parts of our history. I think by recognizing it, it shows that you're a mature democracy, and we move on. But it's important that the genocide be recognized because there are a lot of people that perished, and I think there are a handful of survivors left, and we need to do this before there are no survivors left.